Hello everyone and welcome to Channel 18 TV News. I'm Don Julian. In the news, former Hopkins County jailer, 28-year-old Sinead Nicole Hagan, was sentenced Tuesday to 60 days in jail, then 10 years deferred adjudication for having improper sexual activity with a person in custody. In early January, the sheriff's office received an allegation that Hagan had a sexual encounter with an inmate while a correction officer at the county jail. Texas Rangers were contacted to conduct an investigation. While investigating the first allegation, sheriff's officials discovered a second offense. The Delta County Courthouse is reportedly closed indefinitely due to flooding from the heavy storm that came through the area Tuesday. Courthouse staff waded in to protect as many records and county property as possible inside the courthouse, according to Grace Stone Crabb, who works in the Delta County Clerk's office. Ms. Crabb reported Tuesday morning that all floors of the county courthouse had sustained flooding and damages. Water was said to have poured down an elevator shaft and through the elevator onto the floor. Flooding in the district county courtroom was reported to be even worse. Enough water covered the floor of the basement of the courthouse to cover the shoes of staff members. In sports, this is the fourth straight year that the Wildcats football team has lost practice time in a scrimmage in August due to having spring football. At his weekly media gathering Wednesday before the season opener against Frisco Wakeland Friday night at Gerald Prim Stadium, I asked Wildcats football coach Greg Owens if it's easier to prepare for a first game with less practice time the fourth time around.
The reality is we kind of know what we got coming in. We know what kind of kids we've got, and so we kind of have a semi-depth chart of where everybody's going to be and what they can do because of spring. And spring's still very beneficial for us, but it doesn't matter. I mean, we still feel rushed right now. We've had one scrimmage and a lot of stuff we need to clean up with it. But the reality is, I mean, here's where we're at. And then so they're here too. So Wakeland's the same way. So we're both kind of flustered. And here we go. You hit it on the run. You got 2 games here to warm up before we get the district play. And so that's what it's all about. So, I'll be honest with you, I don't know a whole lot about their team. It's not about them at all, and that's not any disrespect. It's about us and us trying to figure out what we can do and clean up our mistakes and try to be more fundamentally sound and everybody know what to do. So that's really been our focus. We've got one scrimmage. Fortunately, we played them last year, so we have that game to kind of look back at and see what's going on with it. But then we got one scrimmage to really look at with them. So, there's not a whole lot personnel. We don't really know. We didn't get to go see them live, so we're looking at some stuff on tape and no numbers and all those kind of things. So we do know they got a very good quarterback, big 6'6" kid that's back from last year, big wideout that's exceptionally fast and deceptively fast on the outside, and a running back that runs really hard. So we do know that about them. We know Coach Secor's teams are always well coached. They're fundamentally sound in everything that they do. And they do a good job. So they're going to play their tail off and be coached, and they're not going to get real exotic on stuff. They're pretty base and pretty simple in kind of what they do. Last year they kept bringing an extra rusher every time and brought an extra guy, so a +1. And so we got to be kind of ready for that. We don't know which direction they're coming from, but again, they're not lining up in some crazy defenses that we have to figure out. So it's pretty much an even front, and they'll get some 3-3 stack, and from there, it's just kind of play ball and make plays. And as we look back at last year's video, we had a lot of mistakes of little simple stuff that we got to get better at, and we didn't do this, didn't do that. Well, some of those guys are returning this year, and they remember some of that. So, and then we got a lot of new faces on there, and we got a new quarterback, and all those guys have to settle down and have to play. And again, I think I told you after the scrimmage, very pleased with their composure, how that came out at LE. So we've got to keep them calm and get them eased down now. It's a different deal now. It's a real ball game. It's Friday night. It's lights. It's home game at the Prim. There's a lot of emotions, and there'll be a lot of energy, and there'll be a lot of excitement. So all those kind of things just have to calm the kids down just a little bit. But pleased with the way we're working, pleased with our progress. Just continue, I think, to get better every day. We have to challenge a little bit. We had some hot days this week, We had to deal with some heat again, and after they've been at school all day and some normal school days. So those things just having to learn and push through. But I think every day we're getting better and improving, and that's what I told the team on Monday. Our goal is to improve every day. Our job's to push them. Their job's to get better every day. We ought to see that. And it ought to be an internal hunger for them to get better. And coaches shouldn't have to be yelling and screaming and all that out there. The energy ought to be coming from them. And so, after about 2 hours, they kind of start to drag. So you got to kind of get it. But on Tuesday, yesterday, we had a great one-on-one session, and we came inside because it was a little wet on the field. We came inside, and it was really good. One-on-one offense, defense, 3 or 4 plays, and they just got after each other. And that was really good to see, and that energy level and that excitement kind of came back with them. So that was fun stuff. So simulate game situations as we can. We got about 40 guys on the varsity, so got to be careful about injuries and all those kind of things. And some guys are going to have to go both ways. So we're still working through what that's going to look like. And again, somebody gets nicked up in a ball game, it kind of changes the dynamic of all that stuff, and that's not any fun. But we get the next guy ready, and he steps in, and here we go.
And Coach Secord's called his team a work in progress, and I thought that sounds like it nails the Wildcats too. You're both working hard to try to get where you want to be, and not there yet.
Yeah, I think all of us in the state of Texas, everybody's like that. It's the beginning of the year, same ball game. Every coach probably tell you the same. Now, could we have played a ball game on the first Friday of play? Yeah, we could have. That's our retention level of our kiddos was really good. They retained all the plays, all the stuff in the spring. All that stuff was, now what we're not good at is the fundamental technique day to day, getting better, and that muscle memory of that step or that key and that discipline of reading my key and doing what I'm supposed to be doing and those kind of things, and not losing my mind when it does get heated, but staying calm and staying poised and continue to do my assignment.
One thing probably helped Wakeland. I know they only had, I think, 6 offensive returners, which is not bad, but 3 on defense are very green on the defensive side. But I think Coach Young pointed out, hey, they're a bigger 5A school, and they got a lot of kids, and they just kind of roll them in there.
Oh yeah, they do. I mean, they've got a few more numbers than we've got, so yeah, they kind of push them in. But you put 11 on the field at a time, so we got to be smart about who we're playing, where we're playing. For instance, I'll take Ch.18. He'll play safety. He's going to play receiver. He's going to be a punt return guy. I mean, K-Row, same way. Aiden Walker, same way. So we got lots of guys that are doing a lot of those roles like that Noe Ponce, just guys that we've got to be smart with. Bryant Sanchez, we've got to be smart with those guys and rest them. We can rest them when we need them. We get them in. But they're also guys you need on your special teams because they bring the experience, they bring some savvy, they bring the athleticism. So we got to pick our spots and be smart with those guys and keep them fresh. And I don't know whether it's going to be like on Friday, but it's still going to be hot. And again, it's adrenaline and all that stuff. So fluid, nutrition, rest, all those things are important for these guys, and for us to keep them healthy. And we're not going to win district championship on Friday night. So we got to be smart about that and continue to get these other guys that are backups in there some game time, some game experience. So when they're really called upon, then they're ready too.
Back in the spring, talked to Coach Offit because I know that's a big time for the offensive line during spring to get them together. And he was as excited about this line as I've ever seen him. And he felt like they were listening to him and making a lot of progress. You think the O-line could be a big plus for you this year?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, we're counting on those guys. When we know we got 2 really good running backs. And we count on the O-line to step up and do some things. And so, yeah, I think he's kind of taking a little different approach this fall with them too. So I'm excited when I see him over there hitting the sled. I mean, that means they're aggressive. We're getting after it. We're grinding on it a little bit, learning to play low. So that's the thing he will tell you. They will bite you. So, I mean, they'll get after you a little bit, and they'll come get you. So that's what we're counting on. We're still a little sloppy on our steps with those guys and our hand placements, and we're not quite there on that yet, but they will come hit you. So we like the aggressiveness part of it. We like the tenacity part of it, and that's what they're learning. He's taking them on, maybe a 12, 13 play drive some days to start practice out. And it's a timed rest, and then they hit that thing again for 4 seconds and time rest, and here we go. So a lot of that stuff's kind of conditioning them physically and mentally, to know that we got to line up behind them. They got to go get it. So, yeah, we're excited about what they're doing, excited how they had their pass pro was against LE, especially the ones. Did a great job. We still got some guys that are playing too high and some sloppy steps, but for them to get on the field, they got to get down. They got to get down. They know what their assignment is and get after it. So, but we need them all. He's got about 8 or 9 in there. So, it's basically the guys that are performing are the ones that are going to get to play, but we'll have a rotation with those guys too. 3 3 tackles and maybe 3 or 4 deep guards. And we're right now we really got 1 center, and we're trying to train a guy or 2 up. And there's a new guy that's moved into town, so he's trying to learn our system. And I think he's going to be okay, but he's got to continue to progress.
How about the defense, Coach? How did it look second year under Coach Graham?
Yeah, I mean, good. I mean, they're flying around. Defense is running around, doing a good job, and we were really pleased with how they responded the other day. Again, defenses are always ahead of offenses. We gave up 1 big pass, a guy came down with, so we're very happy about that. But thought they played exceptional, especially the 2 inside linebackers. Greenway and Carrillo did a great job in the scrimmage. They were flying around, making plays, pleased with our safety play at most of the time. We really liked what our corners did too. I mean, they did a good job, and Cairo had an exceptional scrimmage. He just kind of understands where he's at, and he's playing within himself, and he's playing comfortable, and he's making some great open field tackles.
When you look at Wakeland overall, anything really jump out for us? Anything good or bad, or something that you can?
Discipline. I mean, they're just disciplined. I mean, they're going to do what they've been coached to do. Well disciplined. They're going to run the right routes. Quarterback's going to put it there. They're not going to be over sophisticated. Just like last year in the opener, we miss a 5-yard stop route on the outside tackle, and the kid goes 70. So they're just going to do the little things right. They're going to throw and catch. We're going to wait you make a mistake. So I kind of equate it to tennis a little bit. They're just going to keep volleying it back on the side and let you try to make a mistake. So, and they're always in there. They have some high-scoring games. That's kind of how they play in the Metroplex, and they're used to doing that. So they're just going to keep coming, keep plugging, and so we've got to be consistent on our side of the ball as well.
You mentioned earlier, I guess it's always a danger the first game, and especially being at home, the kids getting too excited, getting a little too amped up, and just I guess how do you guard against that? Just
you don't. I mean, you go play and you get after it, and you just see what happens. You talk about it, but they got to experience that. So you hope you have some success early, and they keep a level head.
Seems like DeAndre Peoples is kind of impressing some people as a D lineman. It looks like he's got a bright future, He
is. Him and Cameron Colford. Cameron Colford's best defensive lineman. Then right after that's DeAndre Peoples, and he's very athletic. He jumps around. Sometimes he gets a little high. He had 2 really good series the other night. In the 3rd series, he stood up and got driven back 10 yards. So there's a learning moment for him right there. So he can't dance around too much. Understand what his job is. Those D-line, occupy your gap, take care of your gap, and after that's done, then you can go make a play. But so many times they think they're going to swim the center or whoever and run around the backfield, and most of the time that doesn't work out very well for us. So, but he's getting better, continue to go. He's a smart guy that understands the front, how to line people up. He gets it. Once you explain something in a meeting or in a video session, he understands what sets look like, and he's telling everybody else to watch out for, whatever play might be coming. So savvy guy on 3rd down, understands it's 3rd and long, what screens and draws. He's a great guy that reminds all the guys. So he's a good field leader too up there amongst the front, and does a good job of doing all that stuff. And he doesn't mind working either.
Must be interesting behind the scenes to watch the 2 coordinators and all the other players on headphones and other coaches as they watch the players on this going 2 ways. Is so-and-so ready to come in and play offense? Well, he just had a hard defensive series. The kind of decisions they have to make sounds fascinating to me.
Yeah, basically we're kind of looking at it like this. They're going to start on defense. They're going to come to the sideline, get a drink of water, get fresh. When you're fresh, get up and stand by coach. So we know we have them ready at that point. Now, if we know it's a critical situation or whatever, hey, I need him right now because he's the best guy in this situation, then we'll yell for him. But hopefully they understand that. They're getting a rest. The defense coordinator just got to talk to them. Then we may get them on Matt may get them on the 2nd or the 3rd drive, third play of that drive or whatever. But it's not going to be probably just a 1-1, jump right back on the field or just stay on the field. We got some other guys and some other reserves that'll be in there. So we're going to rotate a lot of receivers, rotating running backs in and out, all that kind of stuff. Line will be rotating in and out. So we'll try to keep all that, and you got to go through the game too. Again, when injuries start happening, or cramps or what have you, then you got to be able to adjust to that too. So that's just kind of in the fire, in the moment. We got a plan. Plans don't always go exactly like you want them to. So plan A, B, C, D, E, F, whatever. Keep going.
One thing I remember about Wakeland last year, they just never went away.
Yeah.
And we end up beating them by 2 points, I think, and having to do a big long drive at the end to run out the clock and everything like that, just keep the ball away from them.
Yeah, and that's what I was referring to earlier when I was saying they usually have pretty high-scoring ball games, and they're always in the hunt. And like you said, they just never go away. They're going to make a play. They're waiting for you to make a mistake. They take a shot when they can take one, get the ball to their big guy out there and let him go. So, it's going to be a full 48 minutes. So we understand all that, and we got to play our tail off.
At least they graduated that guy that had the career game that had like 2 80, 90-yard touchdown catches, and I think maybe intercepted one and ran it back or something.
Yeah, it was some crazy stuff. I mean, and we had control of that ball game until we started having some turnovers. We had some turnovers and a stall drive or two. Next thing you know, they get momentum, and then it's hard to stop them after that. So, we have to step back up and make a play. So that's the nature of the beast in the high school football.
The Lady Cats volleyball team eked by Paris 3-2 on the road Tuesday night. Score was 25-20, 20-25, 25-23, 17-25, and 15-12. The Lady Cats are now 15-8 for the season. And I talked with Lady Cats volleyball coach Bailey Dorner Wednesday morning.
We battled, we fought. Paris battled and fought, and it was a back-and-forth game, but I was just happy we pulled the win out.
Yeah, it's good to come out on top after a couple of matches from that tournament.
Right, to bounce back from Saturday and play kind of well yesterday and just get the win was good, especially since we don't have a game on Friday. We had a good week, in my opinion. So.
Yeah. Who impressed you this time?
Brooklyn Burnside, stat-wise, she was only almost 50%. In her attempts and her kills. And then Sadie Washburn had over 20 kills in the game. But, we passed the ball well, I feel like. But those people really stood out to me.
All right. Yeah, it's good to get, I was thinking about it, you don't want to have just one dominant player because teams can begin to defense that. So Brooklyn kind of brings, kind of an alternative to Sadie to make you a little bit more versatile.
Yeah, especially since Sadie's an outside and Brooklyn's a middle. A lot of times if you just have dominant outsides, then the other team just adjusts their defense. But when you have both, it's hard for them to defend both.
All right. And so now you get a day off.
Yes. So we're still practicing all week. Still really going to focus in on some little things that we need to work on and just prepare for next week.
You think coming through tournament time and everything, there was a little bit of tiredness involved? I know you play a whole lot of matches at these tournaments.
Right. It's been a long month of August. We've played a lot of games, having tournaments back-to-back-to-back weekends. But it just gives you the chance to work out some kinks early, and you see those things early, and then you just kind of settle down and prepare for the rest of the season.
Now, next Tuesday, that'll be a red letter day because it'll actually be the first time this season that the Lady Cats will actually be playing in their own gym.
Yes, we're excited. We don't have to climb on a bus and drive somewhere. We're excited to be home. Like I said, it's a long month of August not being here, so I'm excited to see our fans come out and just support us on Tuesday.
And a familiar opponent, one you've played before, Wills Point.
Yes, so we're looking forward to it. They were a tough team. They gave us a little bit of trouble in the tournament when we played them, but we came out on top, and so I'm looking forward to some competition on Tuesday.
Coach Dorner also told me that for the September 10th home match against Emory Rains, fans can bring canned goods in lieu of paying admission. The canned goods will be donated to the local food bank. The Sulphur Bluff Lady Bears volleyball team is ranked number 17 in the state in Class 1A and 2A in the latest poll from the Texas Girls Coaches Association. The Lady Bears are also on a roll with recent wins over CHAMP, Christian Homeschool Athletic Association of Mount Pleasant, and also over Yantis. The Lady Bears top CHAMP 3-0, winning 25-13, 25-12, and 25-23. Ann Dorner had 15 service points and 5 kills. Delina Donato had 2 service points and 4 kills. Tori Rainey had 3 service points and 2 kills. Jada Wade had 1 service point and 3 kills. Skylar Stanley had 4 kills and 2 blocks. C.J. Johnson had 10 service points. Allie Colette had 9 service points 18 assists and a block. Hannah Bird had 8 service points, and Angel Brown had several digs. Sulphur Bluff also won at Yantis 3-0 by the score of 25-14, 25-18, and 25-10. Sulphur Bluff coach Zandra Payton said that she set 2 goals for her team in that third set, and she said the Lady Bears met them both. She said the girls keep improving each week, adding that they have really bonded as a team. Coach Payton praised her captains for being great examples to the younger members of the team. For the Lady Bears against Yantis, Hannah Bird led the team with 14 service points. Allie Colette had 5 service points, 2 kills, a block, and 17 assists. Jada Wade had 2 service points and 2 kills. C.J. Johnson had 9 service points. Tori Rainey had 8 service points and 2 kills. Skylar Stanley had 4 kills and 2 blocks. Ann Dorner had 2 service points and 5 kills. Lydia Drummond had 2 service points. Delina Di Donato had 3 service points and 4 kills, and the libero, Angel Brown, had 1 service point and 5 digs. The Lady Bears will be playing next at Trinity Christian Academy on Friday. The Sulphur Bluff JV game starts at 5 p.m. with the varsity match to follow. And that's Channel 18 TV News. I'm Don Julian. Thank you for joining me, and so long, everybody.